Yo, what it do, what it is, what it ain't. It's your boy T, man, with the Get Right podcast, man. And I got the homies with me, Rod, the Brain Trust. You know what I'm saying? What's
What up?
good, bro?
What up, though?
As always, short and sweet, man. And the man with too many names, man. Mr. Misconception is what we know him as. Best DC, what's good, bro?
Yeah, it's your boy DC and the place to be. Too many names to mention, but you know what it is, bro. I'm here to stir the pot. I'm not here to stir the pot. I'm just here to be
Yeah,
me,
you are.
man. I'm
Yeah,
just
you
here
are.
to be me and just be my authentic self. And I'm gonna say what everybody's thinking, but they're afraid to say, damn it. That's right.
For sure, man. And like I said, it's season 2, right? The pull-up season. We got a guest. We got one of the homies. I consider her one of the homies. Owner of Radiant Row. I'm gonna let her introduce herself though. But I got the Miss Shawnee O'Shell. What's happening? What's good? What it do? What it is? What it ain't?
What's up, y'all? I'm so happy to be on the Get Right podcast. It's your girl, Shani. Listen, I just feel so good to be a part of your show tonight and hopefully I can bring the flavor.
Yeah. So before we jump into it, ooh, somebody mad. So before we jump into this thing, I want to ask you about Radiant Row a little
Yeah,
bit.
my baby.
I done checked out the website. I love the crochet cover up. By the way, I might have to holler at you on that for the
Yeah.
wife. But we gonna talk. Um, tell us what's the meaning of Radiant Row and how did this come about?
So Radiant Row literally it's me because my middle name is Rochelle. So if you follow me on Facebook, you may see Shiny O'Shell, but in the O'Shell is just kind of like a remix of Rochelle. But when I got married, my husband and I, we wrote our own vows. We wrote our vows to each other. And one of the things he said to me is that when he met me, I had such a radiant spirit, and it attracted
Okay.
him to me. And so when I was sitting there trying to think of my name, my mentor, she was just like, you need to make sure you incorporate your you in it some kind of way. So I was a she by Shiny, which I'm so glad I didn't do that because I know y'all probably heard about. Well, y'all might didn't hear about it, but your wives probably heard about She by Sheree from the Real Housewives of Atlanta disaster. But anyway, so finally he was just like, well, play off your middle name, Rochelle. And I was just like, what? He was just like, Radiant Row. I was like, oh yes, that's dope. I love it. I love it. And so Radiant Row was born. So he basically named it.
That's what's up, man. So what's been the biggest highlight so far? Because you've been doing your thing
I
for the
think
past 5 years, 4 or 5 years now.
yes, I started Radiant Row was officially incorporated on February 23rd of 2018. So it will be 5 years next year, February 23rd, sorry. I think the biggest highlight was being voted the best of York County in the fashion show. First year in, got put in the fashion show. Well, not 2 full years in, but about maybe 15 months in, put in a fashion show. I've been asked to do some major things with that fashion show. So yeah, I just like just being able to tap into my passion. And a lot of people don't know this, but my mother was a seamstress. Like she was a big seamstress in our area growing up. So I've watched her create things for the longest. Unfortunately, I didn't take up that part of it, learning how to actually sew, but the fashion part of it, the passion of it, I definitely have it. So I'm really excited to continue to grow the brand. And thank you so much for asking.
Yeah, for sure. I can't sew. Rod, can you sew?
Do it look?
DC?
No, do it look like I can sew?
Yeah,
I
bro. What you
wouldn't even
talking
ask that
about? What
question.
grown straight man souls, bro? Like,
What?
Hey,
uh,
well, come on now. Come
Wait,
on
straight
now.
DC, hold up, hold up. What you mean?
Rob,
What
turn
straight
his
man
mic off.
shows?
But I don't know no straight men that sew. Like I'm sure they exist and they're out there, but I'm talking about in general. Nah, I mean, ain't I don't know. None of my homies is sewing like that. You know, I don't know. You know a lot of guys that sewing radiant, bro.
I actually don't know any straight men that so, but I'm sure, like you said, there are out there. It was just kind of, I was waiting. Feel like you was finna go a little left there.
Nah,
Yeah,
it's
well,
just
I
in
know
general
you.
terms. Just to be clear, nothing in this world is absolute, right? There's
Mm.
exceptions
Correct.
to every rule, but nah, man, the homies ain't sewing. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
Ah,
you ain't
But
got a
what,
whole fashion line. I'm pretty
what
sure
about
that man
yeah? I
does
was
not
gonna
know
say,
how to sew.
How do
You
you
know,
know? How do you know?
I'm
how do I
pretty
know?
sure he don't.
I mean, come on, yeah, bro, come on, T. Like, let's take a poll. Like, who thinks Kanye West can sew? The
Yeah,
man
I don't
don't
think he
read.
can do
You know
much,
what I
bro.
I
mean?
doubt it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but DC, you brought up Ye, man. Go ahead, bro, because I know you
Well,
want
quick
to touch
question.
on something.
So you know because you talked about how you came up with the brand Radiant Row, right?
Hmm.
But as
Yep.
far as the actual clothing, I don't think we focused enough. Like, because you have a boutique clothing
Yeah.
store, but so we know how to brand, but why the fashion? Like, how did you? If you could kind of talk about how you got it, because a brand is one thing,
Right.
but selling product is a whole nother thing. You know, so how did you decide to get into that business? Like,
So, um, it was a pain point, okay? Because honestly, I love shopping, right? But being able to shop, because I'm a plus size girl. When I started Radiant Row, I was like a size 28, 26, 28. Being able to go into a store with my cousins and, well, not being able to go into a store with my cousins or my sisters and like shop, pull off the rack just like how they could, was just like, man, this is wow. I need to be able to create a lane for girls that are like me because I like to look cute. I don't want to be shopping in the grandma section all the time. So I was just like, you know what? It's a lot of women out here like me that feel this way. So you know what I started doing? To just get a pulse on it, I started selling clothes out of my closet, like selling them like for like $2, $3, just to see if it was people who even liked the way I dressed in my area. And I started with Curvy Girl Closet. This is when it was just you know what, I'm just gonna start getting rid of stuff. Get rid of stuff. And I was like, I do have a passion for clothes. And that's when I had to come up with a real name because Curvy Girl Closet wasn't, of course, that's so common. So I couldn't use that, but it really just became a pain. It's birthed out of a place of pain, not being able to find clothes in my size. So I know other women have the same issue. So I tried to create a solution for us.
That's usually the best ideas for an
Bars.
entrepreneur. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? And Tokyo Talk, by the way, you was 1 year in when you won that award. So,
Yes,
that's
one
1 year
year
in. Tokyo Talk,
in.
we'll Tokyo Talk for you. We'll
Yes,
Tokyo
1 year
Talk.
in, and it was like it was very magic. A few of my former coworkers did come out and support, and it was like because I am extremely shy, and Rod is going to tell y'all that I'm not, but I am so shy, guys. Like I really am, and it's just like this is how I know I'm a Virgo. So I'm finna go there with it, okay, Rod? So hold on. This is how I know I'm a Virgo because I literally like when you get me on like talking about something I love, I'm on go. But you gotta get me there first because at first I'm just gonna be like, oh, I'm so scared. You know what I'm saying? But once I'm there, I'm lit. And that's exactly how it was when I had to do that fashion show. And right before this, I text Rod and I was like, you know what? Man, I'm sweating. I'm shy. He was like, man, there you go with the lies.
Cap,
yeah.
capping out here.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, coming out with a boutique for plus size women, I imagine that did you get any kind of, I guess, negative feedback from that? Because there's a stigma that sometimes can come along with uh with plus size people in general. You know what I'm saying? Especially women. I would say even more specifically black women. Have you kind of faced any of that, like adversity when you came out and said, hey, there's a market here, I need to serve it? Did you come across any backlash or anything like that?
I didn't really come across any backlash that I ever really felt. I mean, the issue that I had was a lot of women were like, "Dang, you don't have small sizes, or you're not going to carry, our sizes." That's the only backlash I had. But as far as the big girls and the plus size women, no, because honestly, we need love, and in fact on so many of the episodes, I would hear you, and it became a pattern, and it sounded like you were always coming for the big girls. But I feel like that was just you just being a part of the show. But no, I feel like big girls need love too, and so I never felt any of that negativity. But people wanted to be included, and they wanted me to carry smaller sizes. And I will tell you, when after the pandemic, and I was able to regroup, I started carrying smaller sizes, And my girls, my plus size girls, they did not like it because they didn't show up for it. They didn't show up in the sales the way that they had previously done. So, and I know it's not because it was we're in a pandemic, because people were still shopping, people were still traveling, people were still doing a lot of things. And I started doing surveys, I started sending them emails, just trying to find out what happened. And they would say when they go on the site, they would see not a lot of options for them. And it wasn't that the options were not there. I figured it out. It's where it was on the landing page. They are seeing smaller girls now, and it's intimidating. They don't feel like this is the space for them anymore. So I feel like that was a mistake, because I didn't start it for small girls. I started it for my curvy girls. So
That's what's up. That's what's
Hmm.
up.
yeah.
You said I felt like I was coming for the big girls on the show. What you mean by that?
Get
So
them. Get
in,
them.
in a couple of the episodes in season one, I would listen, and it would seem like it was always DC saying something about the big girls, or it was something about the size, or something about her weight. I'm trying to think of one of the episodes for sure. It might have been like within the first four episodes. It was probably the one about working out. Oh my God, I don't
Yeah,
know, but
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
I
I
definitely
did.
remember.
Yeah, I did. I mean, yeah, you ain't lying. I mean, for me, I look at it more from a health standpoint. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I do think that one, I think there should be a space for everybody. I think it is pretty cool that you've got, the boutique uh, that caters to those who generally may not be catered to. I
Right.
also believe that healthy lifestyle should be promoted as well. You know what I'm saying? And so usually when I'm speaking on it, I'm speaking more so on from a health standpoint. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? And I do believe that at a certain point that it's unhealthy. And when we talk about, I'm black, if you didn't know. And
Hmm.
so I am more passionate about issues that affect people that look like me. My wife is black. And
Hmm.
so I do speak on it, man. And I do stand on it in the sense of, you know, everybody deserves love, of course. Everybody
Hmm.
deserves happiness. But at the same time, I think that there's nothing wrong with maintaining a healthy lifestyle. You know what I mean? And that's
I
my
agree.
biggest thing. Now again, I think it's dope that you have the store, and I think it's dope that you've got the entrepreneurial spirit, and you have found a market that clearly is untapped and
Hmm.
underserved. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um,
Thank you.
yeah, yeah, no, that's
And,
dope.
I mean, while you're on that same topic, since you're on the show, Shani, I'm
Yes.
going to give you your flowers because I don't know if anybody has ever tried to start a business outside of you, DC. I know you are an entrepreneur yourself, but that's a hard thing, right? And to go through that pandemic and almost get your world almost broken, right?
Hmm.
Because it's I mean, it was tough for everybody, but a lot of the small businesses didn't make it out alive, right? And
Right.
Yeah.
I must commend you for continuing to fight. I know it was some hard days. I know it was some tearful nights because you were just getting started right before the pandemic hit and really booming, and to take that slight step back, I know it was painful, but to see you continue to go, not a lot of people have that resiliency and that resolve to keep moving. And kudos to you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that, bro. You are exactly right. It was a lot of tears shed.
Hmm.
Well, I can laugh now, but I can tell you when I was in them trenches, I never thought that I would be able to laugh about this, because it was just like it was hitting so hard. And I was just like, wow. And like I told you, I pivot trying to think that I was going to drive more sales by including more people, only to let down my true following. So that's a mistake that I made, and you make mistakes in business, and now I'm getting ready to pivot again. So
Hmm.
the business is still going to have the boutique, but it's going to be more tailored towards a, a shopping experience. Now I want to be able to get with my clients and get right with them, and tailor their wardrobes based on what they like, what they need, what they've bought in the past. Like, I want to offer myself, because I feel like I have a servant spirit, so I want to give in that way. um And then, like I said, they can still buy in the boutique, but I want to be their personal stylist, personal shopper. There is a hair show that's going on at the end of this month that I have also been nominated as one of the best stylists. It is the 90s fashion show by Cam the Stylist. So it's on October 30th. So I will be there as I was nominated. So, hey, I mean, but it's a couple of stylists in Rock Hill. So I'm so excited for all of us. So that's where
Mhm.
I'm moving or driving the business to more. I'm still going to, stock my boutique, have different collections each season, but I am driving the business now towards personal styling,
Mhm.
curating looks and wardrobes for clients
That's
and
what's
their
up.
events.
No, that's what's
Ooh,
up.
okay.
That's doing your thing. I see you. But
Thank you.
on that same note, since you're here and you conversing with us as a entrepreneur, as someone that's in the fashion industry, like what are your thoughts on this whole Ye situation, what he going through with Gap and also Adidas, and him finally actually admitting that Sway might have been right all along. So like what are your thoughts on that as a
You ain't got the
fashionista?
answers, Rod.
As a fashionista, I mean,
Listen, I'm glad you asked it because here's the thing. I feel like he's going on like a tangent because in addition to all of that foolishness, he formally apologized to Kim maybe a couple of days ago for all the stuff that he put her through this summer. So it's kind of like I really just don't know if he is okay. I really just don't know if he's okay. Like um I feel like he wants the things happen when he wants them happen. So here's the thing. I think the Gap deal, they were still going to do what he wanted. I guess it just wasn't on the time schedule that he wanted, from my understanding. Unless it specifically said that you have to have all these stores by this date, then I really don't understand why he just went so left with it. And then Adidas, like I just think he wants it when he wants it.
mhm.
And if it doesn't happen that way, he's terminating the contract. I
Yeah.
wouldn't want to do business with him. I mean, wait, let me say this. If Kanye wanted to do business with Radiant Road, we probably would be doing some kind of business. But I would be so cautious to think that, okay, well, at any moment he might just end his contract. But hell, I probably would still sign up too. But I just feel like you got to be cautious.
Mhm.
I'm gonna need that money up front. I'm gonna need that
Yes,
money up front then.
yes.
I think there's power in a contract, right? And I'm not in the fashion world. I did work in retail for some time and understood the business from that side. So I don't know if that counts, but from a standpoint of being a creative and creating your own, like Yeezy is a brand. Yeezy saved Adidas. Let's be real,
Hmm.
right? Yeezy, I don't know if it was saving Gap or not, but it definitely added value. So when you have a brand that's that strong that can add value, I think it gives you a little bit more leverage, right? And from the jump, Ye had an idea to make his product as available to as many as possible. As
Hmm.
a big company, like big brands like Adidas, Gap, that doesn't always align to what their thoughts are, right? Right. Because we all understand supply and demand, right?
Hmm.
You want to create a demand with limited supply. And that's how Yeezy pretty much popped off for Adidas, at least. They made it very valuable with the scarcity of the product that they put out. And Ye always said, my goal is to have everybody with some sort of Yeezy be able to buy it at will, right? And the idea from the actual 350 shoe came from seeing everybody at the airport with remember the Nike Roche? Is it Roche? Roshi? I don't know.
Yeah,
Different people called it different things,
the
but
Roush.
I think it was called the Roche or whatever the official name was. But that's where the idea came from, because at the airport, he saw that everybody had some, right? They were comfortable as hell. I'm not gonna lie. All right. Everybody had some. And he was like, I'm gonna create a shoe and I want everybody to have those. They just have a different mindset and a different frame once they start seeing the results of that product.
Yep.
Like Ye made the Adidas Ultra Boost famous. Ye made the household name again. So I get it. If he's upset that he's almost being pushed out, right? You're not even in the room or getting his input anymore on what products you're releasing, the ways and those type of things, right? Now it's no longer that relationship that we talked about in the beginning. So I can understand his side. And the Gap thing, again, the same thing. He's not even in the room when these deals are happening or the conversations about his product being happening. If I'm not in the room and I'm the creator of this, then like, what do you have me for? You're just using my name at that point and not using my brain. And that's the difference
Mhm.
that I see with Ye. And yeah, does he go on tangents? 100%, right? He does what he does. He's Kanye. He is who he is. He's going to always be that. But sometimes you have to look past that and really look at what's really going on. And I think he has a point. And again, it goes back to what about Sway a few moments ago. Sway said that in that interview when he told him, "You ain't got the answer, Sway." He said, "Why don't you just go out and create your own and do it your own way? You ain't got the answer, Sway. It don't work like that. You know, you don't know Ralph. You ain't with Ralph, right? We all saw the interview,
Right.
but it's he's finding out that's true, right? So as an entrepreneur, would you rather have the big box brand behind you, or would you rather do it yourself when you're already a brand yourself? Like Ye is a brand in itself. And I think he was going to sell regardless if it was with Adidas, if it was a Nike deal, if it was a Louis deal, Balenciaga, it doesn't matter because his following is it's probably it's
It's pretty
probably up there
solid.
with
It's
with
worldwide. It's
MJ.
worldwide.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's
It's
probably up there
worldwide.
with MJ to be honest with you. Like
Yeah, it's solid.
he has a strong following. So that's my thoughts on it, but I'm not going to dominate it. I get all y'all thoughts and see what you think about it.
Can I say something real quick? So
Yeah.
I like what you said about him not being in the room because he did give an interview and he basically was saying that. And the reason why I tied in the Kim situation because I felt like it's all a tangent, but really by his own measures or words, it really is because he said it's all parallel. It's like he co-created his deal with Gap and with Adidas and his kids, but it's like his voice is not being heard
Mhm.
by any of them. So I guess they all are connected on that. He feels unheard, which that has to be a hurting feeling where you can't even feel heard where it comes to the people that you created. And then your name is being, your likeness is being used and you're not being heard on how it continues to be used. I can get that. I would be upset too. I would probably be really hurt and upset. So it's coming across, it sounds to me, a person who is very sworn by therapy, it sounds like her when I listen to all of the things that he does and I read all of the Instagram posts. You can tell it's hurt, but it's kind of like trying to find out the deepness of it. And I think in that interview that he gave to I think it was Fox, he basically when he put it like that, it is all things that he has co-created and his voice is not being heard. I totally empathize with him. And I know I would feel a way if that was happening to me. So I hope things can work out for him. But I really think he has to I think he needs to step back and just kind of really look at his behavior because and I know with some of these big businesses sometimes you do got to act like this in the public to get the opinion of the public to kind of help you and make them change how they do business, but at the end of the day sometimes these brands they come from their long money and they really don't care. And you ask the question, would you rather do it yourself or have a big machine behind you? It hit
Mhm.
different when you get it out the mud and you do it all by yourself.
It
That
do.
reward is gonna hit different. It's gonna feel so much greater. It's gonna be harder, but with him being who he is, it ain't gonna be as hard. You know what I'm saying? Because he, like you said, he already solidified. He's a superstar, worldwide, global superstar. Bitch, I'm worldwide. Like you feel me? That's him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you, man. But yeah, Ye need to and I'm with you, Shawnee, on that. Like Ye gotta talk that out with somebody else. Sometimes it is to go out there to put that name, that the kind of plaster, to use that word, right? To make people see like, hey, here's what's going on. Um, and it helps other people such as yourself, right? To say, hey,
Mm-hmm.
make sure you get in the room with these people. You need to be in the room. But
Mm-hmm.
there are a lot of tangents, like S behind that word tangent with Kanye, where he needs to be able to talk through with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? I'll never say he's like crazy or anything like that, but he just need to, like, I love therapy too. You know what I mean? I think it's a great way to outlet to get a different perspective. Me and Rob was talking about that. We hit shout out What the Fries, because me and the homie hit that spot up the other day. I had that same conversation, man. Just finding other outlets to talk things through. Once he does
Mm-hmm.
that, he'll be in a better a peace of mind. My opinion. He'll be a better peace of mind, man. But I know DC. I know you about to get on that soapbox too with Ye.
Yeah, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I have a very different perspective
I know.
Let's
from
go.
this whole thing. So, just a couple of things. Just because you create something does not mean you own it.
Mm.
Just because you create something doesn't mean you own it. You own what you negotiate. I can come up with a super dope dress design, and I can shoot it to Shawnee, and Shawnee can run with it, and she can make $1 million, and I could be mad because I just gave it to her. You know what I'm saying? I didn't negotiate anything. So one, you are what you negotiate. If you in business, and if you're in somebody in Ye's position, you got to know that. And I'm going somewhere with this. Couple things. One, Ye has said on multiple occasions that he don't read. He said this like verbatim. He does not read. He doesn't read contracts. He has people that does stuff, and if it sounds good, he just does it. You know what I'm saying? So one, I'm gonna just tell you something that he put out. By the way, this is not hearsay. He came out maybe like last week or something, and he actually put a snippet of his contract, which I will read. And it basically reads, if Ye and Gap terminate their contract, there's a restriction that neither Yeezy nor Ye may use, wear, sponsor, promote, market, advertise, endorse, design, manufacture, license, sell, or provide consulting services with respect to any of the following products under the Yeezy trademarks or Ye's likeness or any other identifiable attribute, feature, or indica of Ye. I won't go into the rest of it, but basically what it's saying is if the contract, if they decide to terminate, yeah, you own the Yeezy brand, but you can't use it. It's basically an NDA, or not an NDA, like a non-compete clause,
Yeah.
which is fairly standard. But the thing is, you own a whole brand that Rod just said saved Adidas and saved Gap. I don't, they definitely say he definitely saved Gap. Gap was about to go under. He did save Gap, and you could argue that he saved Adidas. Why would you negotiate a deal where you basically, you walk away with nothing? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the brand is yours, and I'm pretty sure there's some sort of statute of limitations, like, okay, you can't use your own likeness for 5 years or something like that. That's usually how non-competes work. There's a time frame. But you're supposed to have the leverage, my guy. Why would you negotiate a deal with a dying company and put in something that basically if you walk away from the deal, you can't even use your own shit? And mind you, he posted this. So I would think that it's real. You know what I'm saying? Like, you posted it, and then honestly, this is my thought. I think he came out, he claimed he was worth like $3 billion or $6 billion. Y'all remember that?
Right.
I don't believe he's actually worth nearly as much as he says, because how are you a billionaire and signing contracts like this? That don't even make sense. Furthermore, it also came out that I think somebody's trying to buy his publishing. Artists sell their publishing all the time. Future sold his publishing for like 60 to 75 million. It just came out.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So like, you got leverage. So it came out that they estimate that Kanye West earns about $5 million a year in publishing royalties. Now that sounds cool and all to me regular. I don't make no $5 million a year. You know what I'm saying? So that sounds dope. But let's think about that. College Dropout, Graduation, My Beautiful Dark Fantasy, Yeezus, even though I didn't like that album, but it did numbers. How is it you had these juggernaut crazy albums and you making $5 million a year off pub? That just doesn't make any sense to me, considering all of the music that he has put out on his own albums or featured on or what have you. Now, granted, he does use a lot of samples and things like that, so I'm pretty sure the pie
Gotta
gets
pay
split a
out.
lot of ways. But still, when did College Dropout come out? Oh, it came out. I think it came out. It came out after. Did it come out before Get Rich or Die Trying or after? Because Get Rich or Die Trying was 03.
3.
Yeah, I know that was 03 for sure. I can't recall when College Dropout came out.
2004.
2004. Yeah.
You talking about 19 years, right? And
Mm.
Ye never misses. He ain't never miss. And you getting $5 million a year on pub. That tells me honestly that like he's not getting the bag like he says. And then on top of that, when he puts out the contract that he puts out, that's not the type of stuff you sign when you got leverage. You know what I'm saying? So one, I don't think that he is as rich as he says. And two, I honestly, I feel that he is a very creative person, but he's just not a good business person. You know what I'm saying? You can't come out admitting that you don't read and then be mad that the company that you are in business with is not listening to you because contractually they don't have to. You know what I'm saying? If you notice, but they're never going to respond to him. Gap, Adidas,
Yeah,
they're not
no one
going to come out.
responded.
They're not
You're
going to
right.
come out and say nothing because they got lawyers and they already, what's in black and white is in black and white. That ain't going to change.
Mhm.
Yay, getting new lawyers on the case ain't going to change nothing. The only thing that could possibly happen is maybe he buys his way out the contract so he can use the Yeezy trademark again, or he does a complete reinvention of himself. You know, which
So
he could do that because Ye is an ultra creative person, and he could do that. But I did feel for Ye originally, honestly. But then when I saw that he put out more information about his contract, I'm like, bro, you signed this dumb shit. Like, why would you sign away all your rights and then get mad when the company takes your rights? You gave them away. You know what I'm saying? Like, that don't make no sense. You know, and then compare Kanye West to Jay-Z. Just look at their careers, bro. They're both ultra successful, ultra rich. They both had different controversies throughout their careers. But Jay moves a lot quieter than Kanye. You know what I'm saying? And and whatever his worth is, I believe it. You know what I'm saying? If they say he's worth the Billy, I think he's probably worth more.
So
You know what I'm saying?
Forbes said Ye is worth 2.
Yeah, I believe
That's
he's not.
Forbes.
I believe
Yeah, then what you're saying, like with that, and even Ye's account posting something like that, yeah, bro. That's
it to me it reeks of somebody, and I think Shana, you touched on this. It reeks of somebody that's seeking acceptance. Shiny, sorry, my bad. I think that this reeks of something that of somebody who's seeking acceptance over and over and over again. Because yeah, he could have did it himself unless he just didn't have the money to do it. You know what I'm saying? And now he's breaking away, but he probably don't have the money to do it. I guarantee. Just watch. Don't be surprised if a news story comes out that he sold something very valuable, like
So
publishing.
now I'm concerned because
okay.
based on what you're saying, and that's a great point. You're looking at it completely from business, and you're right. What's black and white is on that paper. That's the contract. I get that. So you point out something that, like you said, he's told us numerous times that he does not read. And for me, I never really paid attention to it until this last time when he said it. But we got College Dropout. We got him saying he doesn't read, and the publishing thing is not adding up. The math ain't mathing. So I'm really wondering now, are these big companies, these large white, and listen, I'm not trying to throw the race card, but these large white owned companies are striking this deal with this black man that they already know does not read. Like now, Adidas was first, then Gap. Did the people say, well, shit, we can get Kanye because we know he's not going to read his contract and we can do whatever we're going to do. And then if he doesn't like what he's going to do, nobody's going to make any money. It now is feeling very predatory to me. It just seems like because and we all know that he's been going through something mentally since his mom died. So if it's all really like he doesn't read and this is his fault that he doesn't read, I get all of that. But now just looking at it from and for me, I'm probably going to always look at it like, dang dog, I don't want you to get taken. So I'm that person. I'm always going to look at it from an underdog perspective. So now it just makes me wonder, like, are they trying to take advantage of him, knowing that he doesn't read?
Yeah, I mean that's
Absolutely.
exactly
Well,
what's happening. But
so typically, you're not going to have many people that read their actual contracts, especially entertainers. You usually have attorneys to do that for you because it's usually a lengthy amount of documents and a bunch of legal jargon. So you get someone that you trust to actually go over that information and point out some of those important things to you if they have your best interest in mind.
But that's
Mm.
a circle though. So let me hit you. That's your circle, right? Who are you hiring that you really trusted
Mhm.
like that? Because we know this doesn't happen to a person like LeBron James,
Right.
exactly.
right?
And oh,
You
by
see
the
what I'm
way,
saying?
Kanye does the same shit to other people that's happening to him right now. Big
Oh,
Sean,
Big
wow.
Big
Sean.
Sean.
Gonna go with Big Sean.
You
He
right.
owe him
You
He
right.
did the same
5
thing to
million.
Big Sean. The same thing he complaining about, he does to his own artists.
Mhm.
You are damn
So
right.
Kid Cudi
yeah,
as well said he owe
Kid
him a
Cudi.
meal. It
Yeah,
Sean said he owe him 5. It's I don't know,
yeah.
man. Like that's bad business, man.
That's
If
why I
you're
can't
not
really
reading
feel
it.
bad for the man. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I can't. It's not in me. And the thing is, I feel him. Like I feel him, but I just I don't know. I have a hard time, bro.
Again, like I
I have a
said,
hard.
Ye did what he did and he said what he said, right? To put that information out there to kind of publicize that. So for people like, like Shawnee, Radiant Road, hell, the Get Right podcast, because we're gonna get picked up. But we need
Yeah,
to
for
read.
sure.
We need to read and get people, if we not gonna read it, get people in our circle that we trust to know that's gonna read these things through. So I would take this as a lesson, not just for us, but anybody listening, anybody who read this thing, followed this thing, and you start your
Hmm.
own business or you're getting ready to do business with a larger entity, this is the lesson you need to learn right here.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean,
These are
Jada
the
Kiss
things.
told us forever. He
Yeah.
told you forever.
Mhm.
In those
These
skits,
are the
he
things.
told you forever.
Yeah. They be raping you, graping you. Excuse me. They. They. It's just business because Diddy. I mean, Diddy did the same thing, bro. You know what I'm
Oh
saying? Diddy.
God.
Diddy tried to sign people to bad deals, and some people he could, some people he couldn't. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? There was somebody, I can't think of the rapper anymore, but he was gonna sign with Diddy, but then he read over the paper. He sent the paperwork to his team. The team said it's a bad deal. He rejected the deal, and um, Diddy said, and then like so when he went to Diddy, he said, "Hey man, Diddy, this deal is foul. I can't do it." Diddy said, "Okay, cool. Let's go to the club." And he thought Diddy was gonna be mad at him because he thought it was personal, and that's when he realized it was just business. Diddy
Mhm.
slid him a contract. Hoped he would sign a bad deal. He didn't. He said, "Oh well, let's move on to the next." And they went clubbing that night. But that's just business. Honestly, like business and personal is two different things. And one thing I'll say is in business, nothing's ever permanent. And what I mean is, you have a business partner today, and 10 and 5 years from now, y'all are rivals. And then 5 years later,
Mhm.
you're partners again. Like that's how business works. It's not really a personal thing. And so I believe the reason he signed the deals that he signed is because he knows, or he knew that maybe he didn't have the leverage that he thought he did. So, or maybe he didn't have the
Mhm.
leverage that everybody else thought he did. Maybe not him per se, but
Mhm.
he didn't really have the leverage. The whole, oh, you don't
Hmm.
have the
Mhm.
answers, Sway. You don't have the answers. Eh, Maybe Sway didn't have the answers, but maybe he also didn't think that he had the backing to do it himself. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
maybe he felt he needed a big machine behind him to push his product.
Hmm.
And maybe he did
And
at the time.
and I'm about to
Maybe
say,
now he doesn't.
let's be real. He did. Like Adidas needed Ye. Ye needed Adidas. You know what I mean?
Right.
Ye was
Right.
doing good at Nike. I ain't gonna front. Like the
Oh, the
Yeezys,
October
the
Reds
Red
was fire.
Octobers. He was doing good, bro. But
Yeah.
the level that Boost gave him, pun intended, right? That Boost from Adidas. That
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That was a different. It just hit differently, and they allowed him the creativity to experiment. You know what I mean? I don't think Nike would have let him go as far as he goes with Adidas. You know what I mean? Like when Ye's first dropped the I can't remember. I think they were 750s or whatever the first ones he dropped on Adidas. I was like, what the hell is that? Like, that is terrible. They don't sell them anymore and they sold out. Like, they still going for like 7-8 G's right now. I think they 750s. And then the 350 came right after that. And again, I was like, nah, I can't rock with those. Then my homeboy got a
350's
pair.
hard.
And I was like, yo, these actually kind of fire. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they definitely needed each other. Now, did he need Gap? Nah, not at all. But the whole Yeezy brand built from Adidas, you know what I mean? So I would say those two more or less was more of a partnership because they both, I think, gained equal amount of exposure from using each other.
Yeah, the 750s were
Yeah.
terrible, bro. You can get them for the 750s. You can buy them right now, between $350 to $1,200. The 350s, that was his best shoes, probably of all
Yeah,
time.
for sure.
Even when he was with Nike, the 350s is
For sure.
probably his best shoe of all time.
Yeah.
for sure.
Ye is a creative. I don't like
He's
to
a
say the word
genius.
genius.
He
I don't like
is.
the word genius. I think it's overused.
He
word,
is
but
though.
I wouldn't call him a genius, but I do think he's a
he is
savant.
a
I'll say
genius.
that. I'll say he is a creative savant. I wouldn't call him a genius.
Yeah.
But he's an amazing talent. You know, let me just
Mhm.
say that he's amazing talent. He makes amazing music. He really flipped the fashion world on his head, especially when you talk about sneakers. Like shoes don't look the same anymore, and that's
Right.
regardless of brand. Under Armour, Adidas, Nike, Puma, all of them are now.
He pushed the
Kanye's sons.
envelope.
They are Kanye's
Mhm.
sons, and nobody can take that away. But when we're talking about the business of it, it just seems that the creative and the business, they don't. It's honestly, it's rare that they go together. Like Jay-Z is, bro. They gonna write books about this man. Like that. It's not normal for people to be that creative and be that have such a high business acumen on such a
Mhm.
consistent basis. Like that's just not normal. You know what I'm saying? That man gonna have a holiday when it's all said and done. At least he should.
Wait, who?
Jay-Z.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah, for somebody to be that creative and that business savvy, that the two usually don't go hand in hand.
Right.
You
And the
know?
way he just moves really good. Like, I love it.
Me too.
Silent.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, man. So you think we might have we won't be able to go to work on December 4th? That'd be amazing. That'd be amazing.
Bro, I might make it a holiday. I might make it a holiday at my office. I don't know if it'll make the federal level, but I'm gonna tell my people to stay home, man. Stay home. It's the 4th. Yeah.
It's
It's
Tell
the
my team to
fourth.
stay home, man.
I like
I
it.
like it. I like it.
Man,
You gotta take a stand with us, Radiant, December 4th. When the time comes.
Listen,
When the time
listen.
comes,
If
we
we
gotta
get
shut it down.
December,
Or
if
at
we
least
get
have a sale.
December
Maybe don't
4th,
because it's retail. You can't shut down retail. So maybe just have like a I don't know, a 4% off sale.
listen, I'm
44%,
almost certain
44%
that
off sale. There you go.
444.
Yeah,
I'm almost certain that September 4th is definitely going to be a holiday once I have a store for it. And I hope
All right.
y'all all know who that is.
Yeah.
What date that is.
Beyonce.
You know,
Correct.
Yeah,
mhm.
Rihanna
yeah.
better. Rihanna
Oh,
better.
yeah.
Rihanna better.
Listen, don't start, T, because that's not how you want to do
How do
this.
we
Like,
mute these mic again? Because we talking crazy.
You
Oh,
can't.
and she
You
at the
can't.
Super Bowl.
she
And
gonna
at
do the Super Bowl. Now
And she
you
at the
know
Super
she a
Bowl.
bad
And
chick
she at the
though.
Super Bowl.
She
Rihanna,
doing
come
the
on.
Super Bowl and she ain't even got no music out. Like, that's bad though. I like that. I love it. I'm happy for her.
Because she's
Like, but
great.
her fans want an album though, so she need to get them some music.
That's cool. It's on the way, but I'm just saying she better than Beyonce.
Stop
Bro,
playing.
you
You don't
tripping,
believe
bro.
that. You don't even
tripping,
believe
bro.
that. Like, okay,
Yeah. I don't think
on
he
what
believes that.
grounds?
Whoa.
On what grounds? Because that sounds like blind loyalty. Like, what grounds? When people say that somebody else is better than Beyonce, I'd be like, Houseway, like, what grounds? Like, on what grounds?
I got the answers. On what grounds, man? She's
Please.
a better entertainer. She's a
Stop.
better entertainer.
You
She got better
lie.
music.
How?
Yo,
Hey,
You
what's
lie.
better, dancing, singing? What specifically,
It's
sir?
definitely not the singing because she cannot sing.
Nope, we know that. So check that
yes,
off.
she
Ain't
can.
dancing.
Rihanna can sing. Ain't wait. Rihanna
Rihanna
can
can
dance?
sing.
That's crazy.
Did you not
Listen,
see her
where's
at the
Roger?
MTV
Because
Awards
he
when she
went
got
mute.
I'm right here.
That's his
I'm
He
boo
right
right
thing.
here. Man, she hey,
Mhm.
I said it in season 1. Rihanna wins the verses. I'm not saying she blowing Beyonce out. I'm not going to say that at all.
How though?
Man.
What is she going to win at
If
though?
if
Is
if
it because
look,
she has that bad girl persona? Like what?
You just got a
if
crush.
you
That's all.
if you ask, look, hey, look, if you ask who's more musically talented vocally, Beyonce is going to win that. Who can dance better? Beyonce is going to win that. I will give you Beyonce's a better entertainer than Rihanna. Whose music I prefer, me personally, I like her songs better. Rihanna's songs better. You know what I mean? But that's no
Baby be
knock at
slapping,
B.
bro.
You know what I mean?
Now, see, I can rock with that,
And
right?
who you
You
who
just
and
you just prefer Rihanna, but to say
That's
that
it.
Rihanna is better, T, that's just egregious, bro. That's
wow.
egregious.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's listen. That
I'm
is like
standing on it, so I'm not moving. Like I'm standing on that.
yeah.
stand on it. Stand on it.
Standing
Like
on
Yeah,
that.
you need to
I
stand on a
can't wait.
sinking ship,
I
bro. I mean, like we trying to throw you lifeboats, but you just want to drown.
nah,
Like,
man. Hey, man. Team Navy,
I
bro. The ship ain't sinking.
listen. I'll be
Team
so
Navy.
weirded out when people say that people is better than Beyonce because look, you got to look at Beyonce's career. Like Beyonce is, and if you look at her peers, they will even tell you her dancers, the girls from Destiny's Child, they will tell you that when people went home, Beyonce was still in that studio. When
right,
people, when the girls was in Destiny's Child and they were teenagers and they wanted to hang out, Beyonce would be sitting in the car practicing. Think like her work ethic is untouched. Nobody works harder. Nobody. Like for me, even if I didn't like any of her music, I would respect the shit out of her because she works harder. Nobody works harder than her. Nobody. Like she literally had twins, and the very next year she gave us Coachella.
right.
That's cool.
Beachella.
I respect. I never said I don't respect B. Like she command respect. Like it's there 100. But I'm with Rihanna, man. All day. And the same thing too. If you know out of
Are
the
you say,
Destiny
would you say
Child,
that Rihanna? Just question: would you say Rihanna sings better than Beyonce?
no.
He could not say that.
Would you say she dances better than
Yes,
Beyonce?
I believe so. Yes.
When did
Damn, we about
Yo,
to fight.
T, man, T
I
just
can
trying to
hear.
get
I
some
can hear.
ratings, man. That's all, man. You
Ain't
can't
no
be trying to
ratings.
do
Oh man.
listen, when y'all post this, you gotta say they got into it about Beyonce because that's gonna be clickbait. Because what? When
Yeah,
did Rihanna dance?
yeah.
Man, Riri's
T
What?
T loves to be on the wrong side of history.
no.
Like he lives for it.
Man,
how,
wow.
can, how can I ruin my name today? Ah, I got it. Rihanna's better.
Uh-huh. God damn.
Rihanna better, bro. And I ain't finna go there with Larry Brown, bro. Like I'll be telling facts out here, bro.
Ooh,
Y'all
God.
think I'm crazy. I'll be Kanye, but it's all good though. I'm standing on it, man. It is what it
Yeah.
is. But speaking of ladies though, Shawnee, before we let you go,
Mhm.
I know you share a photo, a caption of our guy Odell Beckham, aka OBJ,
Mhm.
for those football fans, and he was with a young lady, and you brought up like dating exotic. Can you expand upon it?
Okay, for sure. So listen, guys, and I have to say that my viewpoint has changed since the summer, but
Oh, I love it.
previously, and that's personal, and I'll explain that too. But previously, I always you watch the NFL draft, you watch the NBA draft. The, who is on their side? Who is on their arms? Who the little babies? The babies are always mixed. It's just like, okay, are we not trying to create wealth within a full black family? Like when Beyonce, this is when I'm going to have to use Beyonce. When Beyonce says there's going to be a whole lot of black babies on the Forbes list, that's because her and her black ass husband are creating black kids, and they're going to create black kids. And it's just like for me, that's what I'm thinking when I'm watching this NBA draft or this NFL draft. I'm just like, wow, like. We don't want to procreate with a black woman so that we can continue to build wealth throughout our community. Okay, so that's how I used to feel. Side eye and really like really all in my feelings about it. But now I'm looking at it like, man, love is really love. It's so hard to say I don't want to love this person when they treat me right simply because they don't look like me. And I think that's unfair for me to expect somebody to not love somebody because they don't share the same skin color. That's so unfair. And like I said, but I always wondered why. But as I continue to grow and do my therapy and check, just grow myself this
Check the
summer,
boxes.
I realized that, hey, if somebody loves you and they love you and they treat you right and they make you feel good and they make you feel warm and fuzzy, it really shouldn't matter what they look like. And honestly, this might push the envelope. It shouldn't even matter what damn they have between their legs. If they make you feel good, they make you feel good. And who am I to say they cannot be the person that you be with? But in the past, I was strictly looking at it for like financial gain, financial wealth, because that would be great to be able to see all these Black kids not having to be in a struggle because their parents are successful. That would be so good. This is why I absolutely love the Jameses. Like when I tell you I love them,
Yeah, shout out.
I stand them because that is a whole Black family, a whole Black, beautiful family, and I love them. But at the end of the day, if they were, like what it is, Bronny, they may not always have a pure Black family. You never know. I don't know.
Yeah, he took a
I,
lot of
I,
heat when he went to prom.
Yeah.
and
But
I don't know why. To be honest with you, man, it all goes back to that exposure thing. Like if you're
Yeah.
exposed to different ethnicities, oh yeah, you're gonna have your pick of the litter, and then you get to choose like who was for you. You know what I mean? Like if you're only around your kind, like I grew up only around my kind, so that it was what it was. That's what I'm gonna end up with because that's all I know. You know what I mean? So for a lot of our youth, we got it a little better, or they have it a little better than we have it. You know what I mean? They have a little bit
mhm,
more exposure. My
mhm.
kids are in a school where we're not the dominant. You know what I mean? And when you're not the dominant, chances are you're probably going to end up with somebody that doesn't look like you, And I think that's what that boils down to is that just people are exposed to different people now. And it is what it is.
So you were being exposed to a different people, but then you pick. Now, so that's when I kind of still am like, okay, you've been exposed to everyone, but then you still choose to pick someone else that doesn't look like you for this reason.
Mhm.
And I'm going to give you an example. I know someone that I'm close with. They only date white girls because of their mother and their sister. They feel like their mother and their sister is ghetto, so they date white girls. Like they just prefer because they don't want to deal with a Black woman. And for me, that's weird because everybody ain't your mama and your sister. You see what I'm saying? But there are men, Black men, that think like that. They see they've been exposed to the aunties that's twerking all everywhere with the bonnet in the grocery store. They've been exposed to that and they just feel like, I ain't doing it. I'm gonna give me a white girl that don't need no bonnet that night, so I ain't gotta worry about her walking out the house with her on. But it's just like
Mhm.
then you basically generalizing that all Black women act the same, and that's
Mm.
clearly not the case.
Now, would it say
PT, I
that?
know you ready.
Yeah, but well, and so that's a fair point. But should it really be on the man to seek that out, or should it be on the woman, specifically the women that's closest to him, to provide a better example? Like, because it sounds to me, and just using the your friend that you mentioned, he grew up. He grew up in a house with Black women, and that's what
Hmm.
he experienced. So should we really put it on him to have to go out and find a Black woman who is not like his mother? You know what I mean? Like, to me, the blame should be on his mother and his sister for pushing him away from his own race. You know what I
But at
mean?
this
Like,
point, what can they do now? You're right. You're right. But what can they do now to change it?
well, um, what I think that we can do as an entire people is one, understand that the word submissive, the word cooperative, these are
Mm,
not bad and ugly words. And I will, in my opinion, in the Black community, those have become to be ugly words. You know what I mean? Like
hmm
if you ask a Black woman, I have a Black wife, and I'm not talking about my specific situation, but I'm just talking about what I see, and I'm talking about the data and statistics. You know what I'm saying? Statistically speaking, Black women are least likely to be married of any race. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Part of it is the industrial prison complex. But another part of it is kind of a this strong, independent, I don't need a man for nothing. Well, if you don't need a man, then you can't expect the men to come for you. You know what I mean? Because a man wants to be needed. And so as a woman, a man is expected to give a woman what she wants. And he should. I should. But it should go both ways. You know what I mean? And so with that particular example, honestly, I can't really be mad at the man if he decide he want to go in a different direction, because he grew up in a house of turmoil and he don't want that anymore. And so he went a different direction. But one thing I'll say though, as far as the whole marrying outside of the race, I do feel that it's kind of an overblown thing, because like statistically speaking, Black men are more likely to marry outside of the race than Black women. But you know what the numbers are? 85% of Black men have a Black wife, and 93% of Black women have a Black husband. We talk about a 7% difference. And granted, so yes, Black men are technically more likely to marry outside the race, but it's not like this huge exodus of Black men going out and getting Becky. That's not what's really happening. You know what I'm saying? This is what I do believe has been kind of happening, and I feel like as a race, we need to do better, is when you look at those uber successful Black men, you do often see them with the quote unquote exotic. But one, a man is gonna exercise his options, and that's any man. You know what I'm saying? A man is gonna exercise his options. And oh, by the way, a man wants peace at home above everything else. You know what I'm saying? If we take a poll, peace at home is gonna be the top about every man's. I guarantee 99.9%.
Number one answer, Steve Harvey.
Huh?
Said number one answer, Steve Harvey.
That's what he said?
Nah, I'm just you might as well be.
Oh, all right. I don't know.
Because
I don't really, honestly, I don't subscribe to a lot of stuff Steve says either. But
oh Lord.
Yeah, because he be on some other stuff. But the thing about it is, you have to, I think this is the issue I believe is happening in regards to relations, Blacks specifically within our culture, is that Black men are not seen as the prize. You know what I'm saying? Black women are seen as the prize. And when you come to the dating, to the marketplace, to the sexual marketplace or the dating marketplace, as you're the prize, accept me as I am, you can't get mad when people don't accept you as you are. You know what I'm saying? Shawnee, you're in business. If you had you mentioned you had a certain demographic you cater to, and you tried to expand, and the market talked to you. So what do? Do you say, hey, y'all, why y'all leave it? Why y'all not buying this stuff? You need to be buying this stuff. This I'm trying to expand. You can't tell your customers that. You give the customers what they want, not the other way around. But what is happening in our culture is you've got the Black men are the customers, and we're saying, hey, this is what we want. You've got, in my opinion, too many Black women saying, no, that's not what you should want. You should want this. Okay, we'll see how well that works. And it doesn't, but as a whole, though, I will just say, just to kind of bring it back, Black men marry Black women. We keep it inside the race. But I think that you see what's on TV and you think, oh, that's representative of America, of Black America.
That's it, right there. Not.
Yeah, average Black people are marrying. Average Black men are marrying average Black women. By and large, we good. We got some things we can work on as a people, but by and large, we staying together.
I love it.
Yeah.
I like to see the biracial kids, man. Look at the NBA nowadays, man.
It's a beautiful.
It literally is a biracial league. It literally is.
It is. I like it. But yeah, it's there's somebody out there for everybody. I would say, people have their reasons, and whatever their reasons are, I can't judge you for it. It is what it is, and as long as you happy, be happy.
Oh, dang. This has been super, super dope. Shawnee, I do want to throw two more things at you.
What's
One,
up?
where can we find Radiant Row at, man? Where can the people find Radiant Row at? And how can they can get a hold of you?
So you can follow my Instagram, which is radiantrow.co, C-O. RADIANTRO.co, radiantrow.co. That is actually my website address as well. So www.radiantrow.co. You probably don't even have to put the www in there. Just type in your browser radiantrow.co. And then follow me on Instagram as well at the same radiantrow.co. Follow me on Snapchat, radiantrow.co. And if you follow me personally, Shiny in the City on Instagram, my links are also on there for Radiant Road, the website, and also my Calendly for you to schedule like a consultation if you would like to do personal styling. So also I'm a makeup artist, so there's a link on there for that as well. Um, and I also do mortgage consulting. So it's a link on everything. So if you just go to my link tree, which is on my Shiny in the City Instagram, Shiny in the City, SHANIINCITY. That is my Insta. Follow me, and then you can get the links for everything that I do because I want to serve you. So hit me up.
Hey, sure you out here.
Hey, Shawnee in the City. I really
Word.
appreciate you coming out, Shawnee. It was really, really special speaking with you.
Yes, thank you. I'm so happy to finally meet you, DC. Formally meet you. Yes, yes,
All
yes, yes.
day. One thing, and Rod, he gives the dopest motivation quotes ever in the
For
book.
sure.
I want you to add a part two before you go, man. What's one thing you can share with others to help them stay motivated or boost their self esteem?
Oh, look at you. Honestly, I would say that if there's something that burns inside of you and you can literally, and I will tell you this, passion does feel like fire. When it's
Hmm.
something that is inside of you and you feel it and you are really passionate about it, you can really feel the burning sensation when you are sitting on it. And I promise you, if you have a gift or if there's something inside of you that you are not sharing, because we were put here to share, we were put here to be fruitful and multiply. So being fruitful means you need to share whatever God has given you. If there is something that you are sitting on, you will be punished. You will pay for it. You may not feel like, oh my God, my world is turning upside down, but you will see that your life is that much harder because you are not operating in your gifts. So
Yep.
if there's something that is inside of you, you should go for it. You may fail. Oh, you may fail, but fail fast. I think Rod may have taught me that. But you may fail, but fail fast. So and that means to basically hurry up and fail. People who are successful, they have failed quite a few times before the success came. So you may see that you failed 15 times and 16 times was a success. So at the end of the day, that's a success story. And hell, you may fail after you succeed, but guess what? You gotta stay determined and you gotta persevere. And yeah, just do it, but definitely don't sit on it.
That's a fact. That's real.
Bars.
That is
Bars,
real.
bars. Rod, you want to add some sauce? You want to add some sauce on this?
Yeah, no need to add anything to that.
Nah,
She
yeah, we
said
need
it
no
all.
sauce on that. We don't need no sauce
Day.
on that.
No, I mean that was great, man. So hey, if you got that burning sensation, man, and it's passion,
Yes.
go after it. But if you got a burning
That's
sensation
right.
and passion, go get checked out.
That's right.
Go get checked out. Go get
Hey.
checked out. You need
I appreciate you coming out. Seriously, it's been a joy. Thank you for hanging with us the entire time and listening to us.
Yeah.
It was cool getting to know you. Until
Mhm.
next time, man, we'll let T take us home.
And you already know what it is, man. Shawnee, all love. DC, love you, bro.
Thanks, guys.
Rod, love you, man. Another dope episode, man. Thank you for pulling up on us, Shawnee. Much love, man. And I
Thanks
love
for having me.
that word of wisdom, man, about that passion, man. But again, if it's burning, it's not passion, y'all, man. It's a lot of urgent cares in your neighborhood. So please make sure you have them in your Google Maps. All right. But other than that, man, it's all love, man. So cue the music.